When I was teaching high school, I would sometimes look across my room as they're working on some project or something, and I would imagine my students in their 20s, in their 30s. What are they going to be doing? Where are they going to be living? What is their family going to look like? And it would actually, most of the time, give me a sense of joy, right? Yesterday, as I was running some errands, as happens quite often, I came across a couple of my former students at their places of work. One was as I went through confession, the drive-through of a fast food restaurant, and the other one was at a home improvement store. Recently, it's been pretty heavy on my heart as I've come across several of my students working jobs where I know they likely aren't making much more than minimum wage. The biggest, most influential factor in gaining and growing wealth over the course of time is home ownership. And I stop and I think about these students and about all of the other people who are working that type of job. Working, don't get me wrong, having a job, it's a great thing. My first job was emptying beer cans out of golf carts. At the time, I didn't have any other bills or anything. I wasn't paying for rent or anything, so the money was basically spending money, right? So it got me by. I never thought at that point about trying to use this job to buy a house or anything, and it never would have qualified me to buy a house. Now I stop and think about the rise in home values over the past decade and how as a homeowner, I've benefited. I've ridden that wave of rising home values. And then I think about the renters. If someone has been renting for the past 10 years, not only do they have basically no return on that investment. If they've been paying rent for 10 years at $1,000 a month, that's $120,000 of payments that all it got was shelter, but it's gone. There's nothing to show for it, right? Whereas if they had purchased a home 10 years ago, now they'd likely be sitting on somewhere around $250,000 in net worth. So I want to take just a split second to send out a message to my former students and all of those 20-somethings out there trying to figure life out. Yes, work is good, and paying your bills is good, but paying rent for your whole entire life is not. Building wealth through home ownership should be your number one priority. It should be the reason why you have that job. And a lot of people, I know, we don't know where to start. We don't know what questions to ask. We don't know who to go to. So I want to answer that right here and right now, especially for all of my former students who might be watching this. Call me, okay? I would love to help you line this up and plan this out and get you on that wave so that you too can benefit. And in 10 years, you'll be looking back like I am thinking, wow, I'm glad that I bought when I could, instead of continuing to pay rent and making someone else rich.